Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
How are you today?
Welcome.
What'd you eat for lunch?
Welcome to the cult.
I'd like to know.
We're your leaders. This is the Mystery Files, folks. What's up?
The summer tapes.
The
The
summer
Mystery Files
tapes.
presents the summer tapes.
I honestly don't know. I know that's our name for the summer, but like it's so confusing to me. Is it the Mystery Files presents the summer tapes?
I
or
think
is it the
that's what
summer
we
tapes?
decided for.
I believe it.
Yeah.
You know, I
but
believe
it's still the Mystery Files overall. That's like our overall brand.
It's the Mystery Files,
Yeah.
but it's the summer tapes.
Except for that weird Australian show, that kids show. Remember when we looked up the Mystery Files?
Oh, yeah.
There's guys, apparently there's only one other show named The Mystery Files, and it's some weird Australian children's TV show from like 2006.
It's probably really good. We should watch one.
We should watch
just to, like,
it.
spice it up.
We do. The Mystery Files watches The Mystery Files.
What if it's literally our show, but it's children? Is it
Stop.
kids, right?
What?
It's
Yeah,
kids,
it's
right?
kids.
Yeah, that's what
it's
I
kids.
thought.
It feels like it should have been on like Discovery Kids. Like it feels very much that energy.
Well, no, we have to watch it. I don't know where to find it. So if anyone knows where to find it, let us know.
Let us know. We would love to watch it. It's just so funny to me. That's the thing. I'm also so scared they're gonna sue us one day or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they can. I feel like they're not relevant. Sorry, guys.
Ooh.
I feel like we've kind of
Well,
stolen your thunder. A little bit.
Maybe we could like sue them if they come back at us. We'll go
Or
like
we
we're
can
a podcast.
We can collab though, maybe.
You know, yeah. Like why fight? Why make war when we can make love?
Yeah.
That's
or
what I was.
why not burn bridges when we can build them?
That's
together.
better. I like that one.
Yeah, you see, you had that whole love thing. You have like your little tie-dye shirt on.
I do.
You have some like hippie moment. Like,
I have heart socks on as well. The rainbows.
See, you got a message of love today.
Yeah. And then watch this case. It's gonna be like true crime, like something really, really like scary and deep.
There are some like darker themes in
Great.
this.
So I'm dressed for the occasion.
Yeah, there's some sadness, some darkness, mystery.
One of my favorite things about us doing the show together is the fact that like you and I are both very bubbly people. So we're like, all right, let's go into this kidnapping today.
Let's go into the dark stories.
And then when like we have videos of us, we're in like colorful clothes and like, hey guys, what's up?
Meanwhile, I'm literally dressed like Shaggy.
You are dressed like Shaggy. You got the green sweater on with the
brown pants.
You had a brown scrunchie on too. I see her.
I do. Yeah. Well, I didn't even realize until I got out of the shower, and I was like, "Well,
you said, I guess I'm Shaggy tonight."
I guess I'm Shaggy because it's comfortable. I just wanted to be cozy.
So, last week we talked about Robert the Doll.
You're on it.
And I gotta say, I know. I always make sure I know what we're doing.
You're so smart.
I already said this to you a little bit before we started shooting, but I was terrified I was cursed for like a good 3 days. Like when I was like kind of scared to post the episode. I was like, oh my god.
Like,
I was like, he's coming for me. Yeah, I was like, he's gonna come for me. Cause what happened was after I left, I missed my bus and I was having like a really awful time trying to get home after the show. And I was remember that's why I was texting you and I was like, oh, I'm kind of nervous, and you're like, oh, I hope you get back okay. I thought it was being cursed.
Well, I was like, are you good? Like what's happening, bud?
No, I thought it was genuinely cursed. Like I thought that was the end of days for me.
And weren't you like dropped off in the middle of nowhere or something?
Yeah, I got dropped off in the middle of nowhere, and then I had to like reroute my bus. It was a whole thing. I got back safe, and then I felt weird the next day, and then it wiped away the third day.
That's beautiful. I don't think anything really happened to me.
Yeah,
but
that was a fun case though. I had a good time with it.
It was fun. I told some people at work about it, and this one girl got really freaked out. As soon as I started talking about it, she got goosebumps, and she was like, I don't like that. And I was like, ha ha ha, how fun.
You're like, oops, sorry about that.
I said, I did that, you're welcome.
That's so funny. Did you see I like wrote in like the captions like, sorry, Robert?
Yeah, sorry, Robert.
I just wanted to make sure we were good. I made sure we were covered.
Especially like online, you never know. Like Robert might sense something else. So.
And you saw too, like I used the picture for that. I didn't use an actual picture of him because I was not trying to.
Oh yeah, wasn't it the boy?
Yeah, the boy it was in it.
Aww, with the sailor outfit.
So yeah, that was a fun one. I'm really glad we finally did it because I feel like we've been wanting to talk about paranormal dolls and like things like that for a while.
I love paranormal.
Yeah. But this week, it's all you.
We got something special prepared for this week.
I'm so excited.
But yeah.
Would you like to get into it?
I would love to get into it. Give me that drum roll.
All right. Make sure everyone can hear it. All right.
Alrighty. This week on the Summer Tapes. I said it wrong. This week on the Mystery Files presents the Summer Tapes, we have stories of horror movies and haunted sets.
Ooh.
See,
okay.
Before we started, there's a little thing. So, I was telling good old Loganiel here that I had a fear that we might have done this before because
Mm.
I had typed this out before, but I don't think I ever used it, and I don't have the document anymore because it's somewhere in my Google Docs untitled. But I was
Oh.
like rewriting this, and I was like, I've like researched all this before. Like, I probably have a document somewhere with all the same information, but I don't know where it's at.
There's been cases I've tried to produce before and I
Mm-hmm.
immediately switch. Like I've done it like
Yeah,
literally an hour before showtime too.
really.
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, because I think I just wasn't in the mood to like go that deep into some of these
Oh.
prior. Because I think that it might have been the week that we were doing maybe like haunted house stories or
Mhm.
something. And so I was like more invested in like
Oh.
creating like a little haunted house moment for everybody.
Yeah.
But like this is fun because it's horror movies and haunted sets because I was
We've
really
like
into it.
I
So
feel like I know a few of the ones you're gonna pick, but I feel like I don't know them all because you and I have talked about them before.
oh
Because you're very
yeah,
passionate about them. Because we've
I
watched a lot of
am.
horror
I
together.
love all of the horror movies.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm
I
excited. Wait, how many
know.
do we have?
Probably maybe like 10.
10.
But one of them is really long, and it's
Ooh.
the first one.
Okay, yeah.
So
So let's get
I'm gonna
into
give a
it.
little intro first to set the mood for you guys. So get your cozy blankets, turn off the lights, or
Light a candle.
light a candle. If you're driving, keep your eyes open, but your mind wide
Turn
open
us
as
up a
well.
little bit so
Turn
you
us
so you
up.
like can wake up.
Yeah, light a candle in your car. Do it all.
No. Do you think people have done that before?
Why not? I mean,
Like gotten off work and been like, oh, I need to relax and light a candle in
I
the
mean, but
car.
listen, how bad would it be if it was in the cup holder? Like, I'm not saying put it on your dashboard.
Cup holder candles.
Cup holder
What if you like
candle.
reach for your drink and you burn yourself on
Your
like your
sleeve
hand?
starts to catch on fire. Someone like drives a stick shift and they're like, it smells smoky in here. It's their
I
whole
just
sleeve.
that's overall a bad idea. Is that
Nah.
illegal? I feel like it's
I'm
illegal.
looking it
Like
up. The
fire in
one
the
search
car.
of the show goes to like candle in car. By the way, my caps lock is on, so it's like I'm screaming candle in car.
This is why we got hate comments that we get too distracted
I
during the
know.
show.
Oh
But I
wait,
love it.
it says this is it's just a thing that candles can melt in a hot car.
Mm.
So it says you shouldn't burn a candle in a car.
It says you
Obviously.
shouldn't.
Yeah. I'm gonna look. Is it dangerous to light a candle in the
I
car?
feel like it is. I don't think you have to Google if it's dangerous or not to light a
Ooh.
candle in the car.
Oh my gosh, wait, yeah, it says although nothing may go wrong, you can easily become a victim of carbon monoxide poisoning if you remain inside a vehicle with a lit candle for too long.
Oh my god,
So
that makes sense
don't
though.
light the candle, guys. I know it sounds tempting, but I don't want you to get
Okay,
carbon
so if you're
monoxide.
if you're watching the show right now, do not light a candle in your car. Just
Don't
turn
do
us
it.
up.
In your house, do it. But in the car, just listen. You can't escape us. You're driving. Pay attention to the road. Anyway, time for our intro, guys. Okay, so horror movies have always been one of the most iconic film genres. Whether it be a movie about monsters, serial killers, or supernatural forces, most people enjoy a good scare every now and then. While filmmakers usually provide plenty of scares for the audience, sometimes the cast and crew get spooked themselves while making a movie. There have been several accounts of filmmakers claiming their set was haunted, and even more accounts of strange coincidences happening during and after the film was made. So I'm now ready to dive into some of these stories of horror movies that were said to actually have been filmed on haunted sets. So do you have a guess for the first one, just out of curiosity?
I know one of them
Mm-hmm.
is isn't it The Exorcist? What is it? Something like
I
that?
think it's on the list.
Okay, I
It's
know
on the
The
list.
Exorcist, but I
Okay.
don't think I know this one.
Okay. Well,
We'll
this
see.
one is like one of my favorite movies. I've talked about it before with you.
Oh,
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
movie is amazing,
You
guys.
are a Poltergeist
Oh,
stan.
Poltergeist Stan. It's cozy, it's horrifying, but the set wasn't. So, when you mix a daughter who communicates with spirits living inside a TV set, a backyard that becomes a swimming pool of muddy skeletons, a wolf beast demon that lives in a closet, and Steven Spielberg's genius, you get the perfect formula for blockbuster scariness.
Thanks for the spoilers.
Well, watch it. It's from 1982. So, released in 1982, the original Poltergeist, directed by Hooper, and produced by Spielberg, was an instant success and is considered to be a masterpiece of American horror cinema. The film focuses on the Freelings, a middle class family led by a youthful, dashing Craig T. Nelson, whose life is upturned when a number of paranormal and vicious events occur in their California home, and their daughter, Carol Ann, is abducted through her bedroom closet by a group of ghosts who
Oh
are
my
under the
god.
control of a monster demon called the Beast.
The
The
Beast.
Beast. Also, I
The
love that her
Beast.
name is Carol Ann. It reminds me of the last 5 years, like Carol Ann getting bigger every minute.
Yeah.
Like it's perfect. So she's a spooky girl. So, after learning that their house sits atop a Native American burial ground, the Freelings spend their
Mm-hmm.
time attempting to retrieve Carol Ann and all the while stay sane as they get smacked around, terrorized, and ultimately goobered on in the bathtub. So I think that's referencing the whole pool scene at the end. So watch it if you want to know what I'm talking about. So, with Poltergeist's success came a creepy mystique that the classic film enshrouded in real life tragedies that some interpret as a curse.
Oh my
So there's
god.
a curse that's said to have been.
We're doing curses 2 weeks in a row.
Hello, curses! So it's spooky. So, four cast members died during and soon after the filming
Oh my
of the
god.
series. So there's more than one movie. So this is kind of associated with the first one and like the second one.
Mm.
So,
I didn't even know they made a second one.
I don't know if I've ever seen the second one, to be honest with you. So,
Is it like a different like set of people too?
I think it's the same people.
Oh,
Maybe. Or same actors at least. I have no
that
idea.
must be traumatizing as the same actor being on that set.
Honestly, I don't know how kids are able to act in horror movies. Because I know, like, they try to make it less scary for the kids, but I feel like it's still gonna be scary.
I've acted in a few horror movies. You know that. I've like
Yeah.
acted in like a slasher before. And
Mhm.
it's weird because like even though you know it's acting, you still feel like a little bit terrified. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. It's just like when you get in the mindset of like acting and then it's like
Yeah.
someone's chasing you with like a fake knife. It's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, this feels very real." I'm like kind of scared.
Like you're still put in like a hyper like crazy
Yeah, yeah, you're still like
situation.
hyper like you think that's your reality. So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm like kids especially they're like
Well, they're
on top of some crazy
professionals.
experiences right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. So kids crazy. So the majority of the fuel for the alleged curse stems from the deaths of multiple cast members. In total, four cast members died during and soon after filming in the series, so two of these tragic deaths were highly unexpected and puzzling, leading many fans to speculate on the trilogy's eerie implications. So, Carol Ann Freeling, the young focal point of the series, was played by Heather O'Rourke, only 6 years old when the first Poltergeist film was released, so she captivated audiences with her stark blonde hair, doll like appearance, and big, inquisitive eyes. Sadly, however, she was misdiagnosed with Crohn's disease in 1987. The
Whoa.
following year, she fell ill again, and her symptoms were casually attributed to the flu. A day later, she collapsed and suffered cardiac arrest. So, after being airlifted to a children's hospital in San Diego, she died during an operation to correct a bowel obstruction, and it was later believed that she had been suffering from a congenital intestinal abnormality.
So that was like what was really going on. It wasn't the
Yeah.
Crohn's
Yeah, so
disease.
she was like misdiagnosed, and
Wow.
then, like, I guess she got like a fever, and then everything. Well, she got the flu, and like everything went downhill
Did
from
this
there.
happen at home? Like this wasn't on set though?
It was after the filming.
Okay, but still,
Yeah.
like that's still
It's like
wow.
tragic. She was like young.
Yeah, wow.
So there was one of the tragedies that was associated with
Mm-hmm.
like this movie. And then another person, Dominique Dune, who played the original older sister, Dana Freeling, so the older sister character of Carol Ann,
Mm-hmm.
met an equally tragic and unforeseen fate in 1982. So Dune separated from her partner, John Sweeney. In November of that year, he showed up at Dune's house, pleading for her to take him back, and when she refused, Sweeney grabbed Dune's neck and he basically killed her.
Oh my
Yeah, I
god.
won't go into the details because it's kind of graphic, but it's, yeah.
Men are
So yeah, men, literally men.
that's
So
awful.
he was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison, but was released after 3 years and 7 months. That's messed up. But yeah, so they both tragically passed away associated with Poltergeist. And
Was
then,
this during the first movie or the like
I think hers was after the first movie. So I don't think
okay.
she made it because it said 1982, and I think that's the year of the first movie.
Okay. Yeah, so like there's
Yeah,
no way cuz it wouldn't release the same yeah.
yeah. So she tragically passed away, and then the other two cast member deaths, while unfortunate, were not as unpredictable or mysterious. So there's an evil preacher character, Kane. He was in Poltergeist 2, was played by Julian Beck. So in 1983, Beck had been diagnosed with stomach cancer, which took his life soon after he finished work on the second installment of the series. So the same film was met with further tragedy after Will Sampson, who played Taylor, the Native American shaman, died after undergoing a heart lung transplant, which had a very slim survival rate. So there's
Oh.
four like main people who were associated with these films had all just tragically and like just really
Yeah.
sadly passed away.
Did you say the last traumatic, the one who played the shaman? You said that
Hmm.
like was the character also like sick, you said?
Um,
Or
I
was
don't
it
believe
like
he was sick. Yeah, he played like the
okay.
Native American shaman, and like he died after undergoing a heart lung transplant. So in
Wow.
real life, he
These
had
were
passed
after
away
filming them.
after filming. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So those were crazy
Wow.
deaths associated, and then I guess there were other like strange things that happened on set. So
Were there a lot of accidents like things
oh yeah,
ooh.
we're
Ooh,
getting
okay.
into the nitty gritty. So like very tragic things, and then crazy stuff happening on set. So the cast deaths were not the only agent of the curse's proliferation, as other peculiar and creepy legends surround the film franchise. Jo Beth Williams, who played Mom of Diana Freeling in the first two films, claimed that director Spielberg insisted on using actual human skeletons as props
Oh my
in
god.
an attempt to save money.
Oh
So,
my god.
yeah, you'll
I
see
feel like
that.
I've heard of that before. I isn't
Mm-hmm.
there another movie they think that they did that in?
Well, I think I told you about it before. That's what I was talking about, the pool scene.
Oh,
Or, like,
okay.
it wasn't a pool, it's like a hole in the ground that was supposed to be a
Wow.
pool.
Whoa.
I, like, heard that it was supposed to be because he wanted them to be actually freaked out. And I'm like, but that's pretty messed up because that's, like, actual
Yeah. Yeah.
bones.
Was like when was CGI made? Like was it not I don't think it was a thing by
Well,
then,
the
was
thing
it?
is, I guess they had built a whole.
No, it is CGI, isn't it? Like CGI was
I
around
think,
then
yeah,
because
I think it's
Poltergeist.
CGI, but it's also, like, different, like, things they manipulated. Like, they built things to collapse on
Yeah,
themselves and all this, like, crazy stuff for
that
that
is.
movie.
Oh, if I like that's like so disrespectful. So if
Mm-hmm.
I was like a
Yeah.
spirit or something like that and I was getting
I'd be like,
disrespected,
oh, no, no,
yeah,
no.
I can't believe like it wasn't confirmed that it happened, right? Or like do they
No, it's
know?
speculation.
Mm.
So, and he said, in an attempt to save money, because at the time, I guess real skeletons were cheaper than plastic skeletons.
What?
And I'm like, boy, no, 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 no.
What?
That's highly
Spend the
disrespectful.
extra whatever it is to
Literally,
do it right.
movies are worth so much money. Like, just give a little extra.
Mm-hmm.
Give a little extra, good
Wow.
dude. I don't know.
That's so wild to me. I feel like I heard that there was like another I heard like a theory that in As Above So Below that they used real skeletons
Oh.
and stuff. I believe it was debunked and they were like all fake, but I remember
Mm-hmm.
like on the internet when that movie first came out, people were like, they used the actual real life
Ew.
catacombs of like these people and stuff. I think it was later faked out, but I think that's what
Mm.
I'm also thinking of too.
That movie really freaked me out.
It's a good movie though. As Above So Below is like pretty
Well, I
good.
think just the idea of like being in catacombs just like
Yeah.
messes with you because
Let's
it's
do an
already.
episode in the catacombs.
You can do an
You and
episode.
me, we go to France and we film an
I'll call
episode
you.
in
I'll
there.
call you while you're in the catacombs and mess with you. But I don't want to go in there myself.
We go on Zoom. I'm the only one there. Like you're in the comfort of your own home, and I'm in the catacombs of.
I hang up on you and don't answer, and then you're just stuck down there talking to no one.
I don't even get internet connection. I'm like,
Someone has no
hello.
service down there.
I want, yeah. Can you get
First off,
surface in the catacombs?
literally, you're like, aren't it like miles beneath the surface? I have no idea.
Oh my god, what?
Isn't it like miles beneath the
Yeah,
surface? Like,
yeah.
wow.
I probably could if I tried hard enough.
If you had good enough
Get one of
service.
those network extenders or whatever they're called.
Mm-hmm.
Things to like
That'll work.
make your signal stronger. I'll do it.
Just get a portable Wi-Fi router. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Wait, that should be a
Maybe.
thing. Oh my gosh, I'm so
We're
smart.
gonna make it for people who want to go in the catacombs.
I already call it. I have dibs on the idea. No one take it. I'll sue you. I'll sue you right now. It's in fine print. Copyright. Copyright. Anywho, so back to the plastic skeletons that weren't plastic skeletons. So Williams' claim has never been verified, but it persists to this day in the lore surrounding the film's curse. So that's one of the things. And
Mm.
then finally, in an effort to further creep out everyone involved, Samson, the real life medicine man who passed away due to circumstances mentioned above, performed an authentic exorcism after shooting Wrapped Up one night. So, like,
Whoa.
he actually
So
performed an
everyone on that
exorcism.
cast and crew felt like there was something going on, that
Mm-hmm.
they felt the need to like do. Wow.
Yeah, like, can you imagine,
Wow.
like, just how you would feel if you had to do an exorcism after you got off a set.
Well, I already like felt weird after like Robert the Doll and stuff, so it's
Yeah.
like feeling weird. Like if I was on that set, I'd feel weird for a
Mhm.
while. Like seeing like, oh, great job, guys, we did such a great
Yeah.
movie, and then that happens. I
I
guess that
don't
also
know.
adds to the theory that it was human skeletons. Then, like if they
Yeah.
felt the need to do something like that.
Well, you'd have to exercise something if they were that close to like that
Wow.
something so physical. But the thing is, like, not to be this person, I will say the Poltergeist is scary. But I feel like there's so many like more movies that I've seen recently that are more like demonic that I'm like I hope they like do exorcisms on those.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like the thing I'm thinking of is
Get a little
like,
bit of sage
have you
and
seen the new Conjuring movie? I feel like
I
I've
have
asked
not,
you
but I heard
before.
it's terrifying and you should watch it during the day.
Yes, well, because I watched the third one and it was really scary. Like to the point that I was watching it during the day and I still was like freaked out.
Yeah, I heard like do not watch it at night. I think maybe you
No.
told me that
Yeah,
then.
well, because I watched
Like
it
you were
alone
like,
during the day and it was not good. I was freaked out so bad.
"Oh my
So I
god."
hope they exercise that set. But it brings us right to our next movie,
Oh.
which you can only guess is Annabelle.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
which kind of is like,
Robert the Doll's
yes,
girlfriend.
exactly. I was like, I gotta put Annabelle in here just for you. So, the Conjuring franchise is one horror series that claims to be based on true stories from the case files of Ed and Lorraine Warren, our peeps.
Our faves.
I love them so much. Also, shout out to Nadia, because I know Nadia, my best pal, also loves Ed and Lorraine Warren. She has a crush on the actor that plays Ed. I said it. Come after me, Nadia. So, the first spin off film titled Annabelle was released in 2014. It was directed by John R. Linetti. Haha, Linetti. So, Linetti claims to have experienced not one, but two supernatural occurrences while on
Oh my
set.
god.
Two of them. Only two, that's pretty good considering. But the first came when he found three lines drawn through a dusty window which looked like finger marks. Buddy, you know what that is. That's a whole demon.
Oh, you think it's real? Oh.
The three, literally three is a sign of like the devil. If you see
Oh,
three
yeah.
scratch marks,
Oh, yeah, you're
you're like
right.
a marked one, buddy. Good
Oh,
luck.
yeah, for like 666.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just like my
It's like a
take was
little
like
kid, like,
you
ha
just see
ha.
like a little like dirt on like a window and you're like, "Oh
Mm-hmm.
my god, this place is haunted."
It's so scary. It's so dirty in here.
Oh, this place is a disaster. You guys must have
Look
ghosts.
at all these fingerprints. It's haunted.
What if like every time you went to someone's house, if it was dirty or something, you just looked at them and you go like, you must have ghosts.
You
Like
must have
you're haunted,
ghosts.
aren't you?
Next time I come to your apartment, I'm gonna bring a bag of dirt and dust up your window and put three smudge lines of fingerprints down your window.
That's what I'm doing after this. When you go to the bathroom after this episode, I'm gonna just
Where's the
throw
dirt?
it
You
on
got
your
the bag of dirt in your pocket?
yeah, in
Buddy?
my back pocket.
Wow, that's impressive. You know, I can just wait till I come home from work and I can just dust up the place. I'm just a little bag of dirt, and that's fine. Aren't we all just a bag of dirt?
Yeah.
Living our best lives. Anyway, the second came when they shot their first scene with the demon. So, of course, something's going to happen when they shoot a scene with a demon.
Right.
The demon actor went up the elevator and headed to where the other actors were. But as he was
Oh
walking down a
no.
hallway, a giant glass light fixture fell on an actor's head who was playing a janitor. So, to make matters
What?
even creepier, in the script, the same hallway is where the demon kills the janitor. So it's almost like the
Whoa.
ghost was like, haha. But I think the person was fine, as far as I'm aware. But like, still a light
That's
falling on your
good.
head is like
Yeah.
bad. But like the fact that like something out there thought it was like funny, haha, like an actual
Yeah.
janitor.
I'm glad the janitor's okay, but that's like really scary of an
Yeah,
experience.
I'm like it's like playing with them, like
Do they
tormenting.
You said it was a light fixture?
Yeah,
Like a glass bulb or like a
like a giant glass light fixture fell
oh my
on
god.
an actor's head who was playing a janitor. So it
Okay.
wasn't an actual janitor; it was an actor, but still
Yeah,
bad.
but still, like, okay. I was just like trying to think about that. That's so
Yeah,
wild.
as
Like,
far as I'm aware, the actor is fine.
I'm glad.
But
That's just wow.
I'd
And
be
this,
so
I'm
creeped out.
surprised you would still want to do the scene after that. I
Oh,
guess.
I'd be like, no, that's
I'd
a
be
little
like,
too much.
I guess maybe if he was contracted, I don't know. But like,
I
still, like, if they
mean,
were a good set, they would let him go if he needed to. But maybe
I
he
mean,
was like
but they
the worst.
probably filed an incident report and let him go home for the day. Like, I can't imagine
Like,
something
yeah,
like
they
that.
wouldn't shoot that scene the same day at all.
No, they'd be like, okay, haha, we're gonna take a day and come back.
Can you imagine if an
shut
entire
down.
set fell apart and they were like, "We're still gonna shoot today,
I
guys"?
know, like, this person literally had a light fixture fall on them, but, like, we're still going.
Oh my god! Wow.
No, I would, no.
Is that all for Annabelle?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
is
all
that?
for Annabelle. There's
So,
other
did you
stuff
see?
in the universe, but.
I was gonna say, did you see, um, in the new Chucky movie how they did
Oh,
his
no.
hair?
Wait, the one with, what's her face from Parks and Rec?
No, no, no,
Okay, I
no.
thought you meant
That's
that
like
one.
that's the like Child's Play thing. I think they're doing something new with like Chucky and like I don't
Oh.
know if you saw it, but there's like this
Oh,
picture
no.
of him where his hair looks like someone like straightened it, conditioned it, and brushed it out. His hair is different from the original movies.
Ew,
And people on
why?
Twitter were like, "Damn, who did Chucky's bangs like that?" It's just so
Oh, no.
funny.
It probably looked like 2012 hair fashion. Oh, it does.
Are you looking at it right
Yes,
now?
I just looked it up.
Yeah. Guys, please look up. What did you type in? Were you just like
I
Chucky?
put new Chucky movie.
Please put in new Chucky movie, guys, on Google and see this image. It is so fun. Do you see why are his
Yeah.
bangs laying like
Wait,
that?
there's a sci-fi. They're putting on sci-fi on USA and Sci-Fi,
Oh,
like the channel.
that's where we're watching
Guess
it.
they're watching it, but his hair looks scary. It really looks like early 2000s,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
someone chemically
It's
straightened
so
their hair.
funny. It's so funny. Like,
I don't think
why
he's
does it
that
look soft to
scary.
the touch?
I just don't believe he's scary now because he's kind of stupid.
It's like, why is it a weird side part? It's so funny.
He looks like a little goof.
Oh
I
my
will
god.
say I love Chucky's outfits. They're so cute.
It's kind of a surf. You want to wear an outfit like
I
Chucky?
would wear that outfit.
You should do
The
that for next
looks.
Mystery Files episode.
Oh,
Wear
I
a
think my
Chucky
next
outfit.
Halloween.
Oh.
I get a really stupid wig and I straighten it.
You could
Burn
probably
off
do
the
Chucky's
hair.
hair with the hair you have now if you just like placed it
Yeah.
well enough. I
Make
could
it red.
definitely do it. I
You
could
could. You
definitely.
already look like Chucky. You're fine. Hey, I have the freckles and everything. I could do it if I needed to.
Oh my god.
Just gotta wait.
That's so funny.
Alrighty, moving on to the next movie, which it was your first guest. It's The Exorcist. You knew.
Woo!
You knew it. And
Come on, Exorcist.
The Exorcist is one of those older movies that I think is genuinely scary. Because the
No.
Poltergeist was like, oh, fun, like scary, but Exorcist is like
A lot.
genuine, disgusting, scary.
Lot.
Like
Yeah.
I gotta pray after I watch that movie because I'm horrified.
Oh my god.
But The Exorcist, wow,
the
Exorcist,
the exercise.
the exercise machine.
Let's get physical.
Let's
Olivia
get
Newton-John.
physical. Let's get physical, buddies. So
You're gonna go. The fourth horror movie is Physical music video by Olivia Newton-John.
and then it goes. I'm really glad we don't have to worry about copyright on this show.
Yeah.
Thank God.
As far as I know, I don't think we have to worry about it.
Nah, we don't have the rights to any of this music. So, The Exorcist is often cited as one of the most horrifying films in the history of cinema, but it is also notorious for having a supposedly haunted set. Ooh. So, one of the eeriest examples is that the set of the MacNeil's house caught fire, which destroyed the entire set except for Regan's room. So, Ellen
Whoa.
Burstyn actually injured her back when she was thrown to the ground by Regan, which resulted in a scream that can be heard in the film. So like
So
she
it was like a
actually hurt
real
her
life
back.
scream.
Yeah, she hurt
Oh
her
my
back from
god.
like being thrown.
Whoa.
So
That's
this
like
it was
crazy
real.
when movies like have actual like authentic stuff.
Mhm.
Like and Now You See Me Too. The girl in the water tank. Do you know
Mhm.
about this?
I've heard about it a little bit, but I don't know the whole story.
Like the whole thing is like she's supposed to like be in this water tank and she's supposed to like release herself and stuff. And she was like trained to like release herself out of these chains for this movie and she was like under the water. But
Mhm.
if like it were to fail and she couldn't figure it out,
Yeah.
there was like a button she was supposed to press or something like that was supposed to like release the chains like without her doing anything, like to get her out of there and like open the tank and let the water out.
Yeah.
Well, that button wasn't working and she
Oh,
was like stuck
no.
in the tank like banging on it and people were like, wow, she's acting really really well right now. And then like they
Oh.
realized like, oh my god, like she's actually like needs out of here. So they like had to like go in and like release the tank and I think they like left in the movie that like first take
Ew.
of her actually screaming for help.
That's so unsettling.
Yeah, it was like
Ew.
written into it that she was supposed to be like asking for help because she wasn't supposed to get it open, but like
Yeah,
they
but
thought it was full on acting.
it makes it even more eerie that it's real. I don't.
Uh-huh.
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Was she okay after?
She was okay after, from what I know. Like I think like obviously she took a few days and like was good to go, but she like finished the rest of filming of the movie. But that's just such a
Ew.
crazy story.
It's just creepy they
Wow.
keep it in. I mean, they're getting a genuine reaction, but it's like, ugh.
Yeah, but
That
it's
was
like not what they
scary.
were going for at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
But same thing with this. Creepy as heck, but she was actually injured. So there
Wow.
were also several deaths linked to people who worked on the film, including Jack McGrowan and Vasiliki Malerios, who died during post production. So their characters, Burke Dennings and Mrs. Carrows, also die in the movie.
Mm.
So people associated passed away. Yeah.
So wait, the same characters like from the movie who died in the movie passed away in real life?
Yeah, so I'm confused. So
Oh.
during post production, people who played the characters Burke and Mrs. Karras died.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's kind of confusing the way it's phrased. I'm gonna reread it. Tell me what you think. Okay, so there were several deaths linked to people who worked on the film, including Jack McGrowan and Vasiliki, who both died during post production. Their characters Burke and Mrs. Karras also died. Yeah, so
Yeah, so like
characters
they
and people. For a
wow.
second, I thought it was the editors. I don't know why, because I was talking about post. I was like, it's the editors, but it's the
Yeah,
actors.
got
So,
you.
unfortunately, haunted stuff on set and people passing in association with it.
Wow.
But I feel like there was more stuff I'd heard about in the past about like exorcist stuff,
Mhm.
like crazy like haunting things, but I don't know of any other
I
ones.
heard like I feel like I might be thinking of something else, but I know I've heard of like small things like breaking on set and like things like that. Like just like
Mhm.
you mentioned the whole like set caught on fire too. Like I know that happened and
Yeah.
they just had like a lot of I know like a lot of really small weird things happened too. Like just like
Mhm.
breaking and damaging of like props and things and
I feel like I'd just be paranoid.
I could also be wrong, but I think actors were saying too that they got um called like they thought they heard their names being called by other people on set
Oh,
when like no
ew.
one was like it wasn't even close to like their call times.
Well, that's when you know it's a little demon boy
Uh-uh.
because they're imitating you.
No ma'am.
They want to take you over. Next movie. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This one is I read this one before and it's actually really creepy. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's Rosemary's Baby, which I have not seen this
I have
movie.
not seen that. I don't know what that
Surprisingly,
is.
I think I've tried to watch it before, but I fell asleep. But I was tired. It's
What's
not
it
that it
on?
was bad. I think it was on HBO when I tried to watch it,
Okay.
maybe, or
You're trying
Hulu.
not to hurt the writer's feelings. You're
I'm
like
like,
I was really tired that night.
no, I actually really was. I promise. It was during the day. It was during my daytime nap when I want to nap in the day. I'm sorry. So, Rosemary's Baby is another film that is linked to real life tragedy. So, composer Christoph Kameda died in 1969 after falling off of a rocky slope at a party. So, unfortunately, the composer like passed away,
Whoa.
and Komeda entered a coma for 4 months until he died. So, this is very similar to a character's death in Ira Levin's novel Rosemary's Baby. So,
Oh, that like it's an
yeah,
adaptation of wow,
yeah, so
wow.
it's reflecting the stuff that happened in the book.
Whoa.
Producer William Castle was also hospitalized for kidney stones and supposedly hallucinated in the hospital and yelled, "Rosemary, for God's sake, drop the knife." And
What?
that is so
Oh my
creepy.
god.
Like, can you
What?
imagine just like being hopped up on hallucinogens, whatever the heck they're called, and like,
I like definitely like I don't know if like I believe that it was like he actually saw it or not, but like I feel like if
mm-hmm.
you're a producer, like you're really looking at like all these images and like vision boards and
Yeah,
like all these things, like he probably like had very vivid images of that
yeah,
movie.
like the fact that
So
that's
like
just laying in your psyche.
I haven't seen it, but
Mm-hmm.
if like that was like a killer or something in the movie or something like that, like
Yeah,
that's so
like that's
wow.
dark. It's dark. And
Wow.
then, leading up to her death, Roman Polanski's wife, Sharon Tate, is said to have become interested in the cult after not getting the lead in Rosemary's Baby. So,
What?
as we know, a pregnant Tate was brutally stabbed to death by the Manson family in 1969, which was rumored as a ritual sacrifice. John Lennon was even killed across the street from the Dakota where Rosemary's Baby was filmed.
What?
So there's a lot of associations with the movie.
Wait, so you said did you say the one person like was upset they didn't get the lead role in Rosemary's Baby, joined a cult and then was like hurt by the
Basically,
Manson
like
family?
Roman Polanski's wife Sharon Tate is said to have like been interested in getting this role,
Wow.
and then after she didn't get it, she became interested in the occult.
Whoa.
So then
Whoa.
obviously all the really tragic stuff happened with her being murdered by the Manson family when she was pregnant, and then
Wow.
it was rumored to be like a sacrifice, like a ritual sacrifice
Oh
of
my
her.
god. Like it was like a cult or something like
Yeah,
that.
like
Oh.
just really
Oh my
disgusting.
god.
And then like literally John Lennon being killed across like from where the movie was
Mhm.
filmed. Like it's just a bunch of like
Yeah.
uncomfortable, like
I could see the
crazy
John Lennon
relations.
one maybe being a coincidence. I don't know, like,
Yeah.
cause like, like a lot of places are haunted, but I also could see like that's like a weird thing to feel like that's correlated to.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I just feel like there's a lot of the stuff at this time, like associated with the Manson stuff, is just very dark. Like
Yeah.
it's like
Oh my god.
Benjamin read
Yeah.
this one book that's like all about like the Manson stuff, but it's like
Wow.
this disgusting like cycle of like everything at that time being related to like the Manson murders, the crazy
Wow.
cult stuff related. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You'd have
I
to ask
feel
him about
like
it.
I know you've like talked about the other movies, but this one like feels like kind of cursed just the way you're talking about it. Like I
Yeah.
know the other ones you were like obviously tragic things happen, like a lot of weird things were going on, but this one feels just like
Yeah. Well, I
weirdly
think the difference,
cursed.
at least for most of these, like for the ones prior to this, it was very much like I don't know, like crazy like medical things happening.
Mhm.
But this one's very like hallucinating horror stuff and then people actually like being like brutally
Yeah.
murdered or like crazy stuff like that
Yeah.
happening. It's just a much
That one's
darker,
eerie. Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
Like it's all dark, but this is like
Yeah.
violent and horrifying.
Yeah,
So
wow.
yeah, that's Rosemary's Berry.
Very yeah.
Rosemary's Baby, which we need to watch because I'm
Yeah.
intrigued. But yes, also the next movie is so funny because I was just talking about, I think, was I talking about the Dybbuk box last week?
You were. Yes, you
So
were.
this movie is the movie I was talking about that
Oh, look
week.
at you with the correlations to last
I
week. Look at
know,
us.
well,
Come
because I
on,
couldn't
serialized
remember what the
series.
movie was before. It's called The Possession. And
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about it, but I didn't know the name of it then, so it's called The Possession. So, The Possession stars Jeffrey Dean Morgan as a father who buys his daughter an antique box. Wow. An antiques box. Wow, I can't speak. Which happens to house a malicious spirit. So the film was inspired by a true story, which involved the actual Dybbuk box being sold on eBay, only for the owner to start experiencing unexplainable phenomena, as we
That's why you
know.
don't buy from eBay.
Don't. Yeah, I'm banned from eBay.
You're banned. You
Like,
did tell me this. You are banned
I
from
got,
eBay.
I got,
Wasn't I there when you got banned
I
from
think
eBay?
so, guys. I tried to get a Christmas present last year, and I was like bidding on it for the long. Like I was bidding on what was it? A Switch. I was bidding on a bunch of Switches at the same time,
Uh-huh.
and I got reported, and then they banned me from eBay. And now they said if they ever find me, they're gonna track me down. Like if I make another account, they're gonna track me down and cancel that account too.
Oh my god. That's so funny.
So don't
That's
be
so
me.
funny being like you're banned
But the thing is, I
from
wasn't being that crazy. Like they're acting like I couldn't have spent money on a $300 Switch online. I was
They
just trying
probably
to get
thought
a
you were a
deal.
bot trying to buy all of them or something.
I mean, yeah, I get it. But also, I would have paid if I won at least one. I'm
I'm
not
gonna
gonna buy
buy
all of
something on
them.
eBay just to spite you after this. I'm gonna go,
That's
let's see what I
rude.
can get on eBay.
I have done so much good for eBay. I probably brought them back. You know how much stuff I bought on eBay in the past couple years, like working on like short films and stuff?
Oh
A
my
lot.
god.
Almost my entire
Yeah.
thesis film, my P4, was basically all eBay.
Now I guess you gotta go to the big man Bezos now
Big
for
man
everything.
Bezos, yeah,
On
jerk.
Prime.
Stupid. I get fired from my
Space
job.
King.
Hey, technically, I don't work for Amazon. I work for Sony. So, love you,
Hey,
Sony.
it's alright.
Teehee. They can't fire me. Morgan was skeptical of the report, but after witnessing lights explode on set and feeling cold, drafts came over the set while they were filming important scenes. He no doubt became a little less skeptical. So the
Oh.
production crew was also holding all of the film's props in storage, which unexplainably burnt to the ground. So there's like
What's with all these sets having things just randomly burned to the
I
ground?
know. Well, because they were talking about all these like lights and like cold drafts like happening on
Yeah.
set, and then like everything just burned to the ground.
What?
It all just burned.
Can you imagine all your hard work just gone like
It's
that?
gone.
Guess we're starting over.
Guess we're starting over.
Like that production designer.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
that poor person.
We had that fear today on set
Mhm.
because the fire alarms went off.
Oh my god.
Nothing bad happened. They were just like messing with smoke, like things for like special effects.
Oh, so they
But
went off. You're like, what is
they went off.
happening?
The fire department had to come, and then a fire marshal had to stay for the rest of like the day.
Really?
Yeah,
They're like, since
it
you
was all
guys don't know
fine.
what you're doing, I'm gonna just have to stay here.
They said for safety, I guess. But like we're not haunted.
What if you just like wanted to see the film set? He's like, oh, I need to stay here and make sure you guys are
Actually, I
okay.
just want to meet some people, but safety first.
Why does he have a Kentucky accent?
I don't know, cause he's
Kentucky? I'm in Southern.
Southern accent. Isn't like Kentucky kind of Southern, but not at
No,
all?
it is Southern.
Is it?
Yes, it's
I don't
Southern.
know.
Oh my
Western
god.
things, Southern things. They all kind of sound the same to me. But yeah, this movie kind of just has weird stuff associated, which I'm surprised there's not more
Mm.
like different paranormal associations at least because it's
Yeah.
about the box. It's about the Dybbuk box.
Yeah.
But I guess it's not the real one.
You want it to be like full on like 13 ghosts from Scooby Doo.
Yeah, I wanted it
Whole.
all.
You want like there's a ghost in each set that they have to ward
Yeah,
off.
like I wanted it to be a thing that they gave that box so much power. It became the 7th Dybbuk box in the world to be like possessed.
Oh my god.
So I think there's 6. I don't remember.
Oh really?
But yeah, like 6 all
Wow.
across the world. Then some guy
Wow.
collected them. I think I
He has
watched.
all 6 just for fun.
I think he was doing that so people wouldn't like be affected by them.
Oh, like he's the gatekeeper of them.
Yeah,
He's
like, I'm
like
pretty sure. I think
the
that was, like,
guardian
his
of the
thing.
boxes.
Well, I want to look it up now. I feel like I looked this up last time. Dybbuk box keeper boy.
Dip it.
Let's
ribbit,
see.
ribbit.
Oh my gosh, this stuff is whack. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his name is. I tried to look it up, but I didn't look it up right.
It didn't. They don't want you to find him.
They don't want me to find him.
They don't want you to find him.
They don't want it. But that's fine. So we had The Possession. Watch it. Really good, really creepy movie. And then the next one of my favorites that I always recommend, the Amityville Horror.
Yes.
The 2005
We watched
one,
that
though.
together, didn't we? You
We
showed
did.
that
I
to
think
me.
we have watched it because it's one of
Yeah.
my favorites. But I always have this argument with Benjamin, the older one versus the newer one. But I really like the 2005 version because I grew up with it.
Did we watch that one together? Was it that version?
I
we
think
watched?
so. If
It
I
was pretty
going
good.
to watch one
No,
with
yeah,
you,
it was
because
because it was like pretty like
modern.
I just remember some. Yeah, it was like very modern in the way
Yeah.
they shot some of the scenes. I remember.
Benjamin and I finally watched the older one recently, but I just don't like it as much. It's much woodier looking, like it's much darker,
Yeah.
so I'm not in, like.
I feel like that kind of
visually.
goes with the times. You know, we tend to enjoy things that are closer to our ages, which is
Yeah.
fine.
Like I want something that looks brighter and more colorful, and I
Yeah.
feel like the older one was a little too dull, like visually.
If we're getting all these reboots, they might as well be like more colorful and
Yeah.
fun. So
Stimulate my brain, buddy.
yeah,
That's what I want.
this is like random, but I rewatched Beetlejuice the other night, and I just kind of like really sat and realized like I've always known it was good, but I was like, some of the stuff they do is like so innovative for the time.
I like
Like
the Deo
everything.
scene.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
And like all the scenes in like the afterlife and just like the
Mhm.
monsters they picked and some of the shots too. Like there's one where like they're like on the top of like the roof of the house and they
Mhm.
have like this window that makes it look like the landscape's like a picture portrait.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really really interesting.
It's just very creative
Yeah.
visually.
Yeah, I just like I really enjoyed it. I like want to rewatch it again even though I watched it
Aw.
2 nights ago. It was just really really good. And also like the pacing of it too is like surprisingly really good for that time as well. I don't
Aw.
know. Like I was just like, wow, I did not appreciate this the same way I thought I would.
I need to rewatch it. I watched it last
It's
year.
on Hulu. If you're trying to rewatch
Stop
it, it's
I'm
on
gonna
Hulu.
watch it again. I just bought a bunch of scary movies. Not scary, literally like children's horror.
Which is what inspired this.
Yeah, books. I bought like kids
Top 10
Halloween
Goosebumps.
movies. No,
Top
I
10
bought a
haunting
Goosebumps
hour.
thing. I bought a
That's so
Goosebumps
funny.
box DVD set, and then like, I think one is like Nicktoons horror specials.
Are you afraid of the dark?
No,
Oh,
sadly.
Nicktoons, you
Yeah,
said.
it's like so. I think it's like all grown up. There's like a bunch of different ones that have like the scary episodes.
Love that.
But
oh
I just
my
wanted
God.
to watch like just.
You're ready
cheesy
for
Halloween.
spooky season.
I know. I'm trying to convince Benjamin to like let us go to Salem.
For Halloween?
Yeah, but I kind of want to go in September because I feel like October is going to be too busy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I want to go, but like logistically, how? How are we going to get there? But anyway, back to Miss Amityville Horror, our beauty, my love. So it is a film based on the real life tragedy that took place in November of 1974 when Ronald DeFeo Jr. shot 6 of his family members. There have been several movies based on these events, but the crew of the original film in 1979 experienced weird phenomena, particularly the star, James Brolin. So Brolin was apparently not sold on the script just yet, but when he was reading a horrifying part of the movie, a pair of his pants fell off the hanger in his hotel room. I read that and I actually laughed out loud. I was like, okay, that's not really that scary. That's like literally something like hitting a wall or something and going, "Oh my gosh, that was so scary." But for him, like his pants just slipping off a hanger, he was like, "Oh my gosh, this
How
is
did
my
he have them
sign."
hang
I don't know. It was probably
hung
he
up?
probably hung them wrong.
Did he? Is it like? I need to know, like, were they you know how like they make hangers that are made just for pants that you
Oh,
clip
the
on?
Clippies
Yeah,
boys.
was it one of those, or was it like on a regular hanger and it was through the loop and it fell? Like, I just gotta
I
know.
just don't know. Well, it was the 70s, so whatever style they had
I'm
in
just
79.
I'm just imagining it wasn't even that quick of a drop. It was just like a
A
slow
slope
increase,
thing.
and then it went, and then he
It
goes,
like
"Whoa."
plopped. Well, cause he said it was he was reading a scary part of the script and then his pants fell off the hanger,
Oh my
and
god!
I'm like,
I
that's so
thought when you
dramatic.
said pants, I thought you were gonna say they like fell down on him, like he was like
My
sitting
pants
there
fell off.
reading, and his pants fell down.
Like they physically fell down his entire
Yeah,
body.
like a ghost undid his belt, pulled down his pants. Just like he's like getting bullied in like elementary school,
Boo,
middle
you
school.
dummy. Do the film. He did it, so I guess he was bullied just enough.
The ghost bullied him into doing
It literally
Amityville horror.
literally a pair of pants slipped off of a hanger. He probably
Oh
hung it
my
wrong and he
god.
blamed it
Oh
on the
my
scary part of the
god.
script. But
That's
they
so
got him an
funny.
iconic role. So even the remake in 2005 experienced strange occurrences. Oh, this part's creepy. Ryan Reynolds claimed to have constantly woken up at 3:15 a.m., the witching hour, and police even found a body near the boathouse of the place they were filming
Oh
at.
my god, like while they were shooting?
I don't know if it's while they were shooting, but they found a body near, like in that boathouse that is in the
Wow.
movie,
Oh
like near where they
wow.
were filming. So I'm like, that's
That had to have been weird for him.
also the fact that like Ryan Reynolds was actually waking up at 3:15 a.m. because I think in the movie,
He wakes up at
yeah, he
3:15
like
and
keeps
that's when
waking
he
up
starts like his
his like
like
becoming of the
his
ghost or
possession.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Wow.
that creeps me out.
I wonder, like, on like a more logistical side too. I wonder if it was like a mental psyche thing. Like he knew he would have to rehearse that scene or do something with that. So like mentally, he like feels like the need. Like I know, like in the
Yeah,
movie, they definitely didn't actually wake him up at 3:15 or whatever. But like I wonder
yeah.
if there was some mental game in there that was
Mhm.
played. Because I know sometimes like I have like weird mental things where I like wake up and I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah.
like oh whatever.
Well, I have a good like mental clock. Like if I get in the habit of waking up at a certain time, I'll keep
Mm-hmm.
waking up. But there's sometimes that like every once in a while I'll keep waking up at like 2 a.m. or like
Yeah.
1 a.m., 1:30, and I just always wake up at the same time for like a couple days in a row. So like maybe it's the same thing, but he was so far in his psyche with the other
Yeah.
stuff that it's like
Well,
ugh.
that's still creepy though.
But 3:15 ain't the hour to be playing those types of games, good Ryan Reynolds, sir.
Mm-mm.
So, moving on to The Conjuring. We're back to the Conjuring universe, but
Woo! Back to the Conjuring
this is just straight
universe.
up The Conjuring. The
This
plain
is
Jane one.
that's the name of this episode. I'm just gonna say The Conjuring.
This is The Conjuring. Do not say it. Okay. The Conjuring is arguably one of the scariest horror films of the last decade. I kind of agree.
Yep.
Kind of agree. Pretty scary. Especially that scene where the creature's in the wardrobe. You remember don't part I'm talking about?
Yes.
That part scares the heck out of me. But the behind the scenes of the film is even more terrifying. So Joey King plays one of the young girls in the film that is attacked by the witch, but she actually got hurt in real life. Despite not doing any stunts or getting injured on set, her body somehow became covered in bruises.
I remember hearing about
And
this.
that is so
Yeah, I
disgusting.
remember hearing about that.
Mhm.
Oh my god, yeah, like she just like kept finding them on her.
Ew. Well, that makes me scared. What if I find bruises on my body and I'm like,
Didn't then like the makeup team have to like cover them up and stuff during
maybe.
shooting? Like from wherever I
Ugh.
watched or read about that.
Mhm.
Wow.
That's uncomfy. Also, I didn't realize I didn't make the connection that Joey King was in The Conjuring. Like I see it now, but it never like clicked.
You're like, oh yeah.
I like watched her later. And I'm like, she looks so familiar. She's in the Conjuring movies. But a similar thing happened to Vera Farmiga, who first noticed three digital claw marks on her computer that later appeared as bruises on her thigh.
Digital claw marks? How does
Yeah,
that work?
I don't know. It must have been like she saw it like on her screen, like three like claw marks that were like
Ew.
inside of her screen or something, and then like she saw those appear on her thigh,
Can you imagine like thinking like your like computer screen's broken and then it just like disappears
and then it's just
and then
on your
it's on
body.
your body? Oh
Ugh.
my god.
I'd be so freaked out if I saw anything on my screen and then in real life.
I would be
Nope.
going to the quickest church I could find,
I said, Lord
looking up
Jesus,
churches near me.
Baptist church is near me. So, Other spooky things that happened on the set included a wooden pig continuously changing spots in the artifact room. So I guess they had like some type of wooden pig like
Oh.
prop that kept moving around.
Which was a joke between all the PAs.
And
They're
they go,
like, let's
ooh,
move
they're
this
gonna
freaking
hate
pig
this.
around.
Continuity, who never heard of her. So then, when Lee Whannell visited James Wan, the director, a group of pictures from the Insidious, from Insidious showed up on his iPad even though he didn't put them there.
Oh my god.
Oh, Insidious. I bet they had some. I didn't find any on
Insidious
Insidious.
is terrifying.
Ugh, that one like freaks me out like really bad because anything with like
The
dreams,
monster in that, oh my god, he freaks me out.
that one makes me scared
He
to sleep.
freaks me out.
That gives me like,
I forgot I've seen
ugh,
Insidious till just now. Oh
that
my
one.
god.
I feel like I got really freaked out the first time I watched that. Like I couldn't sleep for a couple
I watched it in
days.
high school. I think I was like 14.
We watched it in some kid's basement. Like I was
Oh
with
yeah.
Nadia and like my little brother's friend Trevor. I remember watching Insidious like when we were all like too young to have been
We
watching
had like
Insidious.
we had like I think I had a movie marathon with my friends. We watched horror movies. We watched keep in mind, we watched Insidious, then Children of the Corn,
Oh
and then
no.
we watched Nightmare on Elm Street. And then we went to
Oh.
bed.
How'd you sleep? Especially with Insidious and Nightmare on Elm Street?
Oh no, I didn't. Like we like I think we turned on some like dumb show to try to like fall asleep, but we were all like,
That was us when we had to watch. Well, no, we had to. When I showed you, what movie was it? When you came over to my house
Oh,
and I
when we
made you.
watched Hereditary.
Yeah, I had you watch
Yeah,
Hereditary.
yeah, they turned on Jeopardy.
I get paranoid
Yeah,
after I watch movies
yeah.
because
No
everyone always
spoilers
falls
for
asleep.
no spoilers for Hereditary, but like the end of the movie happened and it's like so freaking scary and terrifying and like your brain's just uncomfortable and then you're like,
Jeopardy.
all right, let's put on some Jeopardy, and you said good night.
Good night, Logan. Have fun with those thoughts. Hey, but how can you be upset when Jeopardy's on?
I guess I did fall asleep pretty quick. I just remember we were up to like 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Like that's when we finished it, and like my brain was already tired. So watching Hereditary 2, I was like,
You're like, what?
"What is happening?"
What
It was
is
really
this?
good, but I was like, "Oh my
I will
god!"
say I'm surprised I put Jeopardy on after. I feel like one of the most common shows that I put on after I watch something like that is like
Mhm.
Rugrats. For some reason, it's like easy to be
Oh.
like, you can't be scared of babies. I don't know. I mean, you could. You should be scared of babies, but not that scared. Anyway, on to the next film. So we have The Ring 2. So not the first one, we got the second one.
Oh.
So I'm wondering why this one was the one that brought in the little demon boys, but I don't know.
VHS
So,
tape.
while The Ring got mixed reviews with fans and critics, the second film in 2005 got mostly negative reviews.
Hmm.
So,
That
The
makes
Ring
sense.
was a remake of the Japanese horror film called Ringu, directed by Hideo Nakata. The remake, however, was directed by Gore Verbinski and starred Naomi Watts, Martin Henderson, and Brian Cox. During a behind the scenes featurette for the movie, Naomi Watts claimed to have felt weird vibrations on set, so she would feel like different things like vibrating her.
Oh my god.
The set was also completely flooded at one point, which is strange since
What?
Samara drowned at the bottom of the well. Like that's the whole thing in The Ring.
Mhm.
So like that whole theme of death, like going through the entire movie with the well,
Oh
and
my
then like
god.
everything flooded at one point on the set. Like that's so scary.
Could it be like anxiety too? Like just knowing where you are and like what you're doing there? Like I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I would be super anxious knowing what the premise of the ring is, you know?
Yeah, and then be like, oh my gosh, flood.
Especially cuz like spoilers for the ring, I guess. But
Spoilers.
like it's like most of that movie is like her like running like around like trying to escape death. Like
Mm-hmm.
I would get jitters too, like feeling like, all right,
Yeah.
here's the next scene where you're gonna get a weird phone call, and this is
Mm-hmm.
gonna happen to you, and you have to try to run and beat death.
Like her body's trying to respond to like actual fear and like active
Yeah.
fear because they're kind of correlated. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
those are the ones for The Ring. So it's not anything too crazy, but enough to be like,
Still gives me a little bit of the creeps.
uncomfy. So then our last one,
Ooh.
it's just a cutesy one.
A cutesy horror.
A cutesy one. Well, because I don't think this movie's very scary. It's the movie Ghost. Have you ever seen the movie Ghost?
I have seen the movie
Oh,
Ghost.
good. I was gonna say, my
Yeah.
heart. You need to. It's not really scary, but it's so cute.
Yeah.
So Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze in Ghost. So Ghost technically isn't a horror film per se, but the story behind the film is too terrifying to not include. So Ghost is a film from 1990 that revolves around a man getting murdered only to return as a ghost to help his lover. So the film starred Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore, but it's also believed that Heather O'Rourke's ghost was on the set of the film. So O'Rourke was the one that had passed away from the poltergeist. So people were working on the film claimed to have heard someone running up the catwalks and also a child laughing. So it's believed that O'Rourke enjoyed climbing on the catwalks, and Ghost was filmed at stage 19, where they also filmed like episodes of Happy Days, which she acted in, like O'Rourke acted in. So they
Oh.
think that like her ghost was like stuck there, and
Like resonating with where she like used to.
yeah.
Whoa, that's a
So this one wasn't
connection.
really scary, but it's like associated.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh wait, there's one more. It's a surprise one. I had it further down. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, yeah,
It
let's hear
surprised
it.
me, and I'm just so
Let's hear
excited because
it.
I remember this one being really scary. This is the
You
last one I
forgot how many you
promise.
put in the script, like you're writing it out and you're just like throwing as many as possible,
Well,
like must
yeah.
make the time limit.
It must make. Well, because I was like, oh my gosh, wait, this one too. It was so hard to choose.
What is it?
So this one's The Omen.
Oh.
So the
The
Oh
man.
Man.
Oh man.
Oh
Oh man.
man. Oh man. Perfect. So the Oh Man is yet another film that is notorious for having a haunted production. So to start off, the original star of the film, Gregory Peck, and executive Mark Neufeld, both traveled in planes that were struck by lightning. So both of them in those planes. So
Whoa.
Peck then shot himself in the head a few months before shooting was set to start. And one scene was filmed at the zoo, which focuses on the reactions of baboons. So let's just go back prior to the baboon
Yeah,
stuff.
like let's dig into
Yeah.
that lightning bolt thing for a second.
So plane struck by lightning, and then
Okay.
literally Peck just like killing himself basically.
On the plane? Or
No, a
like
few months before shooting was set to
oh.
start, because I guess they were both
Whoa.
like set to like be in this or and produce it or something like that.
Oh.
So Gregory Peck, the original star, was supposed to be in it and everything,
This
but
might be like a really dumb question, but like can you survive a lightning strike in an airplane? Cuz
I
it's a
guess
metal
so.
cage. Or
I
like
mean,
did they
traveled in planes that
survive?
were struck by lightning. I think you can. It just depends. It depends where it was probably struck, how bad it was struck,
Yeah.
all
Like
that stuff.
nature. Oh my
And if it
god.
actually took the plane down, because it might not have taken the plane down, but like
Yeah.
it's crazy enough to be like, oh, I'm jolted.
Yeah. Okay, I was just curious cuz I
Yeah.
was like that is
But like they were very
crazy.
close to like a near death thing, and then
Okay, so they did
I'm
survive it.
yeah, and then I'm
Okay.
assuming
That's what
that
I was wondering. Did they survive it? Because that's
yeah, because
crazy.
Peck survived it,
I
and
feel
I
like
think the
airplanes need to
trauma.
count for that, right? Like planes being struck by lightning. I feel like
I
they
think
should
they
plan for
do.
that.
I don't know what year the Omen came out, but it's like a whole. Well, the thing is, I don't
Hmm.
think you can stop lightning from striking anything,
Right. They
but
can like shield it
it
off.
must have been like a
Still though,
crazy happenstance that that happened.
like they're like trying to like make travel time to like start producing this, and it's almost like an omen to
Stop it.
not do the movie.
It was a
Oh my god.
it was a bad omen.
Oh my god.
It was a bad omen. Ugh.
Do you see my brain working right now? I'm like, what is
That's
happening?
you just like
Oh my
creeped yourself
god.
out. But
Yeah.
yeah, so they had that like little thing. So Gregory Peck was one of the people on the plane, and
Hmm.
then I guess it must have messed with him, or he had other stuff mentally going on, and then
Yeah.
he took his life.
Wow.
So then there was a scene filmed at a zoo which focuses on the reaction of baboons. So I guess there's other stuff in response to this. So
Hmm.
the baboons were so wild that an animal trainer had to be brought on set, but the animal trainer died the next day after a tiger got a hold of his head.
Oh my
So like
god.
just crazy, like disgusting tragedy
Oh my god.
happening on set with that. So one of the special effects technicians named John Richardson got into a car accident about a month after the film was released, and while he survived, his passenger Liz Moore was beheaded. So
That's so unfortunate.
it's really graphic. But
Wow.
yeah, so I guess she passed away like really tragically. So there was reminiscent of a scene in The Omen, so it like mirrors
Uh,
something tragic that happened in the
that's what I've been
movie.
noticing about like all of these is that there's like a few things that seem to mirror like the movies with like the real life people. That's so
Yeah.
insane to me.
So
Wow.
that's just crazy. But yeah, that's basically most of the stuff that happened with The Omen, but I feel like that one is probably the most like disturbing.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong, like everything else was very valid and like really creepy and all the other stuff and like really sad, but like this one's just very
Yeah.
uncomfy,
Yeah.
really sad. Ugh,
Oh
I
my
don't know.
god. I just like I think the thing I was gonna like wait to say till we like got to the end here was that
Yeah.
I personally don't know like how like if I was on these sets how I could like watch some of these movies and
Yeah.
like not feel like a trauma or something like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Mhm.
especially if you worked on a blockbuster too. That must
Yeah.
have been so hard.
Mhm.
Wow, I just like I don't know why, but I just like if I was on one of those sets and those things were happening, I don't know if I could really watch
Yeah.
that movie because it just leave a bad
Yeah, and
taste in
it's
my
like
mouth.
it even sucks because like a lot of these movies were like successful
Yeah, and they
movies.
like so many sequels and like things
Yeah,
like that
because like
too.
the movies were a hit, but these people,
Yeah.
I feel like they can't have like any sort of positive
Mhm.
connection too much at least because they have all this negative association with it because it was so
Yeah.
traumatic and like
It's like so creepy.
I don't know, like for the people who had like cutesy horror, like oh my gosh,
Like
I
only
felt
like a
like
few like little ghosts here and
yeah,
there,
like I felt
but
the
like
tinglies. I got a little like scratch on my arm or something. Like,
yeah.
but the people who were like tragically affected by it, like that's something you can't
Mhm.
just like walk away from and be like, yeah, I worked on this movie, but
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just I don't know, just the associations with like movies
Wow.
and like their sets being haunted because it is a horror movie, which kind
Mhm.
of like steers me away from ever wanting to be anything related to a horror set. At least with
And yet
like
here we are with our paranormal and true crime
well, you see, well
podcast.
the thing this is so much different though because we're not like actively like
Yeah.
yeah I'm going to make a movie about like a séance and then hold a séance in a movie.
This is actually wanted I've been wanting to ask you this before,
Yeah.
but if people have like listened to it like on our show, did you like feel like even like a little scared whenever we did the Halloween special last year?
Oh, I did.
I felt weird. I didn't feel weird.
Yeah.
That's not the right word, but I felt a little scared too.
Well,
And I was like the
yeah.
demon person.
Well, because when you act, you put so much energy into acting a certain way, or like,
Mhm.
especially then at the end of the Halloween special, I get possessed by Logan's
Yeah,
possession,
yeah.
his
Yeah.
ghost. But like, it's just uncomfortable to be in such like a dark.
Well, that's what I was saying
I don't
before with
know.
like the children actors and stuff. Like it's like
Mhm.
weird like putting yourself in that head. Like we did like a horror special and like
Yeah.
I was kind of like, "Oh.
Like it's
Oh.
uncomfy, especially like I'm thinking of kid actors who then became like evil, or like had
Oh
some
yeah.
like I'm thinking of
Mhm.
Danny from The Shining. So there's a poster on the wall, but like
Yeah.
he gets like all these like moments of like him having the shine and like it's just so creepy. Like imagine a kid being like red rum, like literally saying murder
Oh yeah.
backwards
Yeah. Oh
and
my
like
god.
being okay after. Like
Yeah.
how do you recover from that as a whole child?
Whenever I did the whole thing when I like looked through like the window and stuff, like I
Yeah.
felt so weird. It was so
Yeah.
crazy. Like acting in horror movies is just so interesting.
It's just creepy
Yeah.
energy all through and through. But like, it's good with like this show at least because it's like we're just chatting about it. We're
Yeah.
leaving it out in the air, but
Unless we
we're
do a
not.
sequel to the Halloween
I
special.
thought you were gonna say unless we do a séance. I'm like, no. Let's not
Tune
say we
into
did.
next week's Mystery Files episode. We're going to be doing a seance, just
Stop.
cause
What if you go to like read your script for next week and it's
it
just
like
like a
flies out of
séance?
my hand.
It flies out even though you're reading off a laptop.
It like flies away.
Your
It like
laptop flies
flaps like the
away.
little things.
You hear it.
Oh my
But yeah,
god.
that's all the crazy stuff for this week.
Yeah.
So
I really liked that we did this because I feel like I've seen a lot of YouTube videos talking about like a lot of these different subjects, but it
yeah,
was nice to get like a ranking and like kind of an idea of like all of them. Like
yeah.
knowing about that stuff. It's like almost kind of informative and like
Hmm.
really
Like
spooky.
it's nice to like get down to the nitty gritty of like just movies in general, and then like the association with the
Mhm.
paranormal,
Yeah.
and just like I don't know. It's just weird to think about
Yeah.
how all this stuff can be make believe until it's not.
Mhm.
So it's just weird.
Well, I guess the things that happen on horror movie sets will remain
A
a mystery.
mystery.
Thank you guys
Yeah.
so much for watching,
Thank you.
listening.
Listening. Heck
Oops.
yeah.
Like we're a YouTube channel.
Thank you for watching.
um, we will see you guys next week
See you
for
next
my
week. Yes,
case.
we'll see you then, home skillets.
Ooh.
Alrighty,
Goodbye.
bye.